Good morning. My name's Carl. Welcome to GWD Little Acre. We're trying to do some more cleanup out here to get this little spread ready for some pigs, maybe a steer or two, and a bunch of chickens, plus a garden for next spring. Also want to talk to you folks about something that's a little bit near and dear to my heart as we get this place cleaned up. There's been a few questions from folks to me about Tammy and I being in our 60s and adopting children. Children that are extremely young, doesn't matter, young, middle, teens, or whatever. How do I put this? It goes like this. The way things were laid out for us by God with these children was kind of an emergency. Of course, we love all of our grandchildren, and we have a few. But when someone decides to intercede on a bad situation in order to, to save the mental and health of a child, it's a pretty serious conclusion. It's a pretty serious thought. It's a pretty serious discussion that you have to have with you and your partner. Things are extremely bad for our 4 grandchildren, and this is probably 5 years ago. They're in a bad situation. That's all there is to it. So we decided to intercede with some prayer, and yeah, we decided to intercede. I don't know how else to put it. So we did. We interceded. It was a long process to be able to adopt our grandchildren. Not super long, but there were some hoops that we had to jump through in order to please the state of California. Several classes to take, several tests to pass, reviews of our living space by officials, and so on. All this was, moot. It didn't really matter. We were going to adopt those children no matter what. And so we continued. We started the process with our state, and it took probably 8-10 weeks to get the process done. And I think that as far as our state goes, they got this one right. They got this one right. The first introductory course that we went to, or class that we went to, that was mandatory, it's kind of scary. I mean, the folks there that gave the course, gee whiz, by the time you walked out of this introductory course, you're thinking, gee whiz, I'm not going to adopt anybody. I don't want to be a foster parent. These people are nuts. that's how demotivated you were after the course. It's really too bad on that part, because there are a lot of good people out there that want to step in for children in need and want to help them, you know, to become good people and to become good citizens. But gee whiz, I don't know, maybe they have a right that the state does, because so many folks look to as being a foster care as a source of income, when it's not a source of income. I mean, granted, it's good what the state does to help foster parents and parents who adopt, because without that help, we would probably be extremely difficult to survive. We would, but we'd be hard pressed to make ends meet. That being said, when you're retired and you've already raised 5 children, you know, raising 4 more youngsters is an out of the blue thing. I mean, gee whiz, it's a serious slap in the face. So there were some adjustments that had to be made, not on Tammy's part, but on my part. But I had dreams. At this stage in our life, my dream was to buy a nice big Honda, you know, a 1600 or 1800, or with a Windjammer, and cruise around with me and my wife. One of those little pull-along trailers and the full-face helmets with the intercom system and stereo, and just cruise. Maybe do some serious camping, go back to hunting and fishing. But that didn't happen. And being a guy, you know, I was just a touch disgruntled, or maybe a little bit disappointed in the way God had it planned out for us. But as a few months went by, when we first got the children, I realized that these little rascals, they need some help. And the only way they're going to be able to live their lives productively and morally is Tammy and I will have to step in. And that's what happened. And I thank God that it did happen that way, because they've been a challenge, but they've been a fantastic joy. A fantastic joy. Wouldn't have it any other way. So what is the bottom line? The bottom line is that there is a need, sometimes, on occasion, for adults who care to step in and to step up. I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge from the beginning, especially. Most of these children will have some sort of baggage from the emotional roller coaster ride that they've been on. It's up to us as people who care and who are able to love, and this takes an extreme amount of time, to be able to adjust and to be able to adapt and to be able to understand as much as possible at whatever age they are, so that they can begin to mature and begin to grow as they should. Now, like I said, they're going to have more than likely some baggage. I was told my youngest grandchild, when we adopted them, he wasn't walking yet. He was crawling. And then my granddaughter, close behind him, was walking, but not very long. And the social workers told us that children at that age bounce back pretty quick, because there really is no comprehension or memory of what's going on. Well, I disagree. I disagree, not 100%, but 1,000%. Are they less likely to mentally struggle by trying to put all the pieces together that they don't understand? Not so much as the older ones, but it's still there. So if we care and if we love, and we know we'll be able to make a difference in these youngsters' lives. It's up to us to make sure that happens. They're chopping corn all over the place. That's a silage truck driving by. Yeah, and like I said, it's really not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of prayer. It's going to take a lot of dedication. It's going to take understanding, so that you're able to, to intercede and to help when the meltdowns happen. Well, there's more than one way to skin a possum. Striker. Striker. Oh, yeah, boy. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. If you're in a similar situation like Tammy and I are, or you're thinking about interceding for some child or for some children in a way that that impacts their lives as whatever you choose, foster parent or adopting, I would highly suggest to you that you do some learning about bringing children out of one environment into the other. Children love, whether they say it or not, children love security. They love and go accustomed to being able to know where they're at, to know that food's always going to be on the table, to know that they have a warm place to sleep, and to know that there's going to be joy. That is extremely confidence building in a child. Now, granted, we don't have PhDs in whatever, but I have a doctorate in raising children. My own doctorate. These children are more than capable of adopting once a period of time has passed to where they know that things are in fact good. Children have a tremendous amount of faith. They don't concern themselves with simple things like necessities and the everyday runnings of life, unless they are challenged by an atmosphere where things are either neglected or just pushed aside. I don't mean to sound cryptic, but every child reacts to being uncomfortable in certain ways. If you decide to take this step, like I said, I would concentrate on learning, but first of all, I would concentrate on praying about it. And you're going to have bucket loads of patience, bucket loads of love, and bucket loads of determination to see it through. And if you can meet that 3 criteria, then you're going to make it, and it's going to be a wonderful atmosphere to raise children and to help children become responsible adults. We have the ability, most of us have the ability to succeed in this, and to succeed nicely, as long as we don't get too caught up in being confused ourselves. Look, what do I do? How do I do it? Gee whiz, it's not working as planned. That's when you fill your pockets up with patience and you see it through. Don't give up. Pray about it. Don't give up. Keep praying about it. And then after you're done doing that, don't give up. Continue on the course that you know is right, and the children will flourish and the children will adapt. Side note is that some of them still may have struggles. They still may have struggles, mental struggles for the rest of their lives. But it's up to us to bridge that gap of struggle and to show them that when they have hard times of coping and when they have difficult times of making sense of what's going on inside their little heads, that we show them a path to joy. We show them a path to be able to beat those odds and to understand. That's a wonderful thing, that the ability that we adults have if we use it and learn from it. It's an amazing thing. All right, well, anyway, any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. It was a pleasure talking to you about this. And Tammy and I hope and pray that if you do decide to take this step, that you look at it as an adventure with some ups and downs and some rocky streams, but also some times of joy, and to see the little children flourish in ways that just makes you smile from ear to ear. Anyway, God bless, and thanks for joining us here on GWD Little Acre.